From Las Vegas, it's Let's Talk News Now with Rick and Ella.
Welcome back again to Let's Talk News Now. We were just speaking with Roche about some of the things that celebrities will do.
Yeah.
And it seems so just totally out of character. It defies almost any form of logic as to what they will do. I know, Ella, you made some comments before at different times about people who are so popular, but they have a mentality that says, I'm going to keep doing things that I was socially or culturally always brought up with that actually seems to be counterintuitive.
Yeah, it really is a mindset. Like, oh my, I have a mind block. Okay.
Well, kind of like Michael Vick. I mean,
Yeah,
if we even
definitely.
use the example we were talking about in the first segment, I mean, here it is, this guy stated, I was more interested in my dogs learning how to raise them or talk to them or communicate with them than I was in reading my playbook. I mean, he stated that. I was more interested and fascinated in that, even though, you know, it was not legal. It was something that, you know, was not really contributing to his talent.
Yeah.
But he was more interested in that, you know, so.
And besides, if this is come back. Okay, so you know, like if you have a talent, something that you haven't had to work for, it's easy to take it for granted. It's easy to also feel unworthy and feel as though I don't deserve this, or I don't deserve to be so good at something that I haven't worked for. And so sometimes it's kind of a compensation thing. Like, for example, somebody who may have lost a whole bunch of weight may not see themselves in the way that the rest of the world sees them, and they may be you know, drawn to do some things that are counterintuitive to how and why they decided to lose weight in the first place. Does that make any sense?
It does.
So it's, yeah, and even maybe creative people as well suffer from things like depression and feeling insecure and inadequate. So it's...
I can tell you from my own personal experience is that I started doing radio at one time and I stopped doing it, and then it seemed like almost naturally people would come back to me and would say, gee, could you come do a radio show again? And what it really had to do with, at that particular moment, was my voice. Now, I did absolutely nothing for this. You know, if people are compelled to listening to me because of my voice quality or my baritone sound or whatever the case is, I didn't do anything. You know, I didn't do a doggone thing except just to continue to inhale and exhale and
Grow up.
and grow
And live.
Yeah, right.
And so then all of a sudden, you know, for people to turn around and to say, wow, what a great talent, I'm going, I didn't do anything.
Absolutely.
You do almost feel, I don't want to say a little cheated, but it almost seems
Right.
It almost seems somehow inappropriate that I didn't have to work for that. I didn't have to do something for it. It just came across that way.
Actually,
Absolutely.
you know, there's a lot
That's
of
true.
entertainers that say they feel like a fraud through their whole career. They actually feel like they were cheating everybody, and so it's like, okay, they'll discover now, they'll discover me, they'll discover that I've been lying to them this whole time. But no, you haven't. They, like Frank Sinatra, they come to see you because they like you, but they don't see it in their own minds. They feel as though they're fraudulent.
I know,
Absolutely.
Roche, along with being an extraordinary academic and a professional in your field of forensic psychiatry, but you also have a background in doing some modeling and working with some name brands and so on. I remember you and I were talking
do.
about this, and I had said to you, I said, you know, what's your response when people say, oh, you know, you're so attractive? You know, it makes you feel uncomfortable, or it makes you feel, are you okay with that?
Well, you know, I just say, you know, thank you, because obviously someone's paying me a compliment, but it's not really anything that I kind of internalize, because no one gets to choose how they look, you know. You just have no control over that. No one made themselves. So that's kind of how I feel about it. It's just, you know, it's...
Accept it.
It's, yeah, like you said, it's something you had nothing to do with.
And that's obviously the case here. But in any case, I just wanted to say to you is that Whitney Houston was another kind of example of this.
Oh my goodness,
we talked about this. Whitney Houston was everybody's favorite singer, and put out just one hit after another, after another, after another.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, she married Bobby Brown. Then there was a change in her lifestyle,
Yeah.
and so on and so on. And you were mentioning it wasn't so much people were angry about the decisions she was making, although they weren't certainly very pleased with that.
Right.
What they were really missing was her talent.
Absolutely. Los Angeles Times was a great article, but basically they were just kind of stating that people are disgusted with Whitney because she seems to not value that treasure that lies within her, because she had the national treasure. She was our shining star, and she just kind of seemed to throw it all away. So people were disappointed about that.
Regardless of what your position is in life, everybody has a value, and I sincerely, honestly believe that everyone has a value.
Absolutely.
Everyone has a talent. It's innate. Oftentimes, it's something you don't have to work for, but it's something that truly exists.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So there you go. That's a great way.
Within everyone.
That's a great way to start off a Tuesday morning.
I love it.
In the meantime, if you want to know more about what's going on with Let's Talk News Now, it's actually very simple. You go to letstalknewsnow.com. You can see our previous episodes on YouTube. You can also like us on Facebook.
Yep.
You can read your blog, Ella Chatting.
Yay.
It's always kind of fun. And follow us on Twitter. We're going to take a short break.